Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, and welcome to Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know I'm here to do. I'm here to rock. Join me as always, Xavier Guerrero, and on the ones and twos, Jay Nice, Juicy Johnny, Johnny Woodard, live from the Wise Wolf adjacent studios. That's what Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. Go to SamTripoli.gold and use the promo code Tinfoil, and you can join the Wolf Pack and have precious metals sent to your house for as little as $50 a month. Guys, we got a banger of all bangers, dude. Buckle up, Buttercup, because we got Steven Kelley on. And let me tell you, dude, everything you ever loved Tinfoil Hat talking about, Steven goes deep in it. We're talking Dracos. We're talking everything. But real quick, go to SamTripoli.com. Okay, I want to thank everybody who came out and saw me at Skankfest. I love you. You love me, okay? We love each other. Then I'm going to be at Louisville. It's coming up, the Murder Circus Comedy Show. 4 shows, hanging and banging. Let's go. And then I might be having a gig in Tulsa coming up. I will let you know about that. Tampa Bay. And then I will be in Cancun at Jiu-Jitsu Overdose. And again, guys, it's coming. It's coming. That's right. You're going to be able to see Quiet live. It will be Go, Bang, Bang, Pow, October 15th. YouTube, SamTripoli.com, Rumble, and X. Yeah, so let's get into it, guys. Buckle up, dude. Steven Kelley ain't messing around. Let's get into it. All right, so he is a NSA whistleblower. He is researcher. You name it, he's done it. He gave me a list of credentials, and I already effed it up. But very excited to have him here. Please welcome Steven Kelley. How are you, Steven?
How you doing? Okay, dude, first I gotta shout out to the the Swarm and Telegram, your chat room and Telegram. Okay, they told me to give them a shout out, so I gotta get that out of the way first of all.
Nice. Well, we're glad that Telegram's doing well, and we're glad that they're showing you love, and we're very excited to have you on. I've seen your videos, and I'm thrilled that you would join us on our show. Steven, for those who may not know you from our Telegram and may not be familiar with all your wonderful work, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. We'll start off with where they can find me because that's short and sweet. I used to be on. I just got kicked off Twitter, so the only place you're going to be able to find me now is on Telegram, and of course that's Occupy the Getty / Steven D. Kelley. And that's it. Or you can watch me you can listen to my shows every Thursday on Truth Cat Radio.
Nice. So you moved to doing stuff on Twitter? Have you moved to doing stuff on Rumble? They seem to be a little bit more open-minded. Do any of those give you any love at all?
Well, you know what? I'm just now uploading all my stuff onto Rumble, and I just got kicked off of Twitter. And,
what?
And even Telegram, everything's taking a big dump right now. You heard even the guy that owns Telegram is going to start, introducing bots and stuff and algorithms and this kind of crap. So our days are numbered. That's why shows like this are so damn important. But just to answer the question here real quick, my big thing that I'm so famous for right now is the Occupy the Getty movement, which of course is me trying to focus the world's attention on one particular deep underground bunker, the one underneath the Getty Center in Los Angeles. And that's because in my dealings with these people, NSA and Templars and CIA and everything else, I got to the real core of this stuff. And that's when they basically told me that's where they're vulnerable. That's the only thing they're vulnerable. And they know their crystal ball, basically, they got the alien technology and all that looking glass. They know this is coming. but it's the only way it's going to happen is if we all focus on this one damn thing, because that's our weak spot. That's what Occupy the Getty is, and that's why another shout out to Eugene Linton, who I went to. What do you guys went to did the show, did the stand up? Which one of you guys do the stand up here? One of you?
Myself, I do it very well. Xavier in the corner,
try.
he tries, and then our good friend Eddie Bravo.
Well, okay. Well, this dude came all the way from Saipan to see your show.
Yes, and he came and saw me in some crazy Chinese restaurant, and then I was
Long Beach or
working
something
out.
like that, right?
And I was like, dude, tell me when you're coming. I'll make sure it's a bigger show, not just a workout night in Long Beach. But yeah, I remember him. Good looking kid.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he told me he had two objectives for when he came out from Saipan, and one was to see your show and to see me and to get you to have me on your show. So, Eugene, here we are. He's been giving me crap all for the last month or so. Is it still going to happen? Is it still going to happen? You know, they call you. Yes, Eugene. Yes, relax. Anyway.
And
So,
here we are, making Eugene's dreams come true. Congratulations, Eugene. You made magic happen. It's great.
But you guys, I mean, you know, I repeat the same thing over and over. I'm kind of looking forward to any questions you have. I mean, because it's like CIA stuff. I'll tell you, I'll just share something with you right now. I haven't really shared with anybody. I've been just watching this series Narcos, you know, on Nick. And I avoid that stuff because it's so half the time they get everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back and started watching the whole damn thing. And I got to tell you, man, it's affecting me because I had my fingers in that stuff from the beginning, first episode, up until the Enrique Camarena stuff and all that. And I got to watch the whole thing now because, man, I had connections to not Quintero, but the guys in Tijuana over there. Anyway, I don't know if you watched that show, but it's like hits really close to home. And sometimes, you know, I forget stuff like that. And I realize that's one of the reasons why I'm such a damn troublemaker for these people, because I've been there and I know about this stuff. And, you know, I could, so that's the thing. All I can do is try. I mean, I already wrote a book. The book's available and it goes up to about whatever, I don't know, whatever year. I mean, I wrote it 12 years ago, so it doesn't cover the last 12 years, but
what's the name of the book, Steven? So
well, right. The book's name is, the original name for the book is Lasers, Cavers, and Magic. Okay. And that's free. You get that book for free. I'll give it to you. You can email me. I'll give it to you. You go online. It's all over the place. You join my group on Telegram. You can download it. There's also, if you look that up on YouTube, there's an audio book too. You don't have to read the thing. It's only like 200 pages. But lasers, that's because I'm a laser guy and it was a big deal. It was a big part of what I did. Cavers, that's the name. That's what you call these guys that live in these bunkers. They're cavers. They live in the caves. They're the caver ones. We don't call them CIA or whatever you want to call them, mole men. They're cavers. That's what they call themselves. Okay. And then magic, that's the whole psychic stuff. Okay. Because this whole battle, it's a psychic battle. You know, super soldiers and all that stuff is real. I do that. I'm very, very heavy into all that stuff. And that's a lot of how we fight these battles with these guys, is using this astral stuff. And it's real. Okay. You know, men who stare at goats, that stuff is very, very real.
I agree.
But at the same time, I have to try to do my best to get everyone that's alive today to have this stuff in their head, you know, so we can have some 100 Monkeys effect going on. And then everyone will start talking about it. I mean, it's happening now. After 12 years, people are starting to talk about it.
I
you know,
agree.
It took a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still fighting it. You know, I mean, this is not the first time I've been kicked off of Twitter, and I've been kicked off of YouTube and Facebook and, you know, everything else many, many times, you know, and I'm waiting for me to kick me off of Rumble. But at least I am. See, so all I got now is like shows like you guys. That's it. You know, this is our only hope for getting out there. And because there's so many voices right now, you know what I'm talking about in our little community. There's the dare I name names, right? You know, because I don't want to get political, but I mean, if you want me to, but there's so many fakers, and people are in this for the money, and people who are getting, I mean, it's like, take a guy like Russell Brand right now, who's like sleeping with P. Diddy, who everybody's talking about, and yet these guys, and then he's on stage pretending to be a Christian now. That's the big thing. I just got off this big, huge ass fight with the Masons. It's never over. That shit's not going away. They're after me right now, hardcore. And that when I say Masons, that also means mafia. So I'm still going at it with the mafia, hardcore. And I mean, I'm just beginning. Those guys started this crap, okay? But what is the Getty? The Getty is mafia. The Templars are mafia. The government's mafia. NSA is mafia. It's all mafia. It's like that damn show, Narcos. You think, cartels. Shit, that was the NSA. It wasn't Los Pepes or the cartels or the Mexican government. That was the NSA. That was us. And it wasn't even the NSA. When I was doing it, I thought it was the CIA. And we didn't say NSA. And then Oliver North comes along, and everyone's, oh, NSA, NSA. It wasn't even NSA. It was Intertel. It was this mafia. It was this Robert Vesco, Nixon era mafia stuff going on. And that stuff is still heavy today. Trump's part of it. They're all part of it. There's different factions of these guys. I mean, there's like the Zionist faction and the Nazi faction. And they looks like they're two sides of, opposites, but they're two sides of the same coin. It's hard to tell who's who. It really is. For me, it's the only way I know a little bit is on my side of the Rocky Mountains. I'm in California, so on my side of the Rockies, it's all Nazi. Okay, but if you go east of that, that's the Zionist side. It's crazy shit. Yeah.
I agree, and I've been thinking a lot about this, because we're in this age kind of right now with cancel culture, cultural Marxism, and this kind of like brainwashing that's going on with people. And I had a argument with a friend of mine about 9/11, and these Generation Z kids, they're either like super politically correct or like they don't care, bro. They go hard in the paint. And this kid put out a video about 9/11, and he used some very descriptive language, and one of it was brown people. The other one was the Jays, right? And my friend got upset about the Jays, about the discussion of the Jays. And he gets very angry about it. And for me, it's just like, we accepted a narrative, which was these people of the desert pulled some Luke Skywalker Death Star bullshit, getting these planes to hit these buildings, and that was the end of it. And we buy it so well that we allow our government to go kill 4.5 million people. And so the theory now of hate is scarier than the actual discussion that led to 4.5 million people being murdered. And that's what I think we're up against. Like, when you tell me like all the stuff that you're doing and what you're up against, and I go like, I mean, my God, who does this guy talk to in his real life? Like, who is open-minded to hearing everything that he has to say? Because I feel 100% that even though I'm functionally illiterate dick joke comic who like loves to talk about these things, and this show got bigger than maybe it was first intention to be, I'm getting excommunicated from the Los Angeles comedy scene. I'm not getting booked on any shows. Clubs that I helped grow aren't booking me anymore. And even though they're all coming to where I am, I'm still the crazy guy. And that's kind of what we're up against. And
I have a comedy story for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There was a comic that died here recently, a fat dude. He made the circuit. Maybe Frankie, I think his name was, something like that.
Frankie, I'm not sure.
So anyway, I went to his funeral in comedy club somewhere in Hollywood, I think, with another woman, a woman who was another comic.
Was he Latino?
Yeah, he might have been. I think Ricky, something, Frankie, something
Frankie,
like that.
what was it? Xavier, your boy. He used to do coke with your boy.
Okay, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, at his funeral, I mean, I saw everybody there. I saw them all. Okay. But all these people got up to do the eulogy, right? And I mean, this is verbatim. Every single one of them, they'd go up there. It was like a damn shtick, but they would say stuff like, you know, I'm not Jewish, but I'm almost Jewish. I'm half Jewish. I wish I was Jewish. Please, you know, give me a job. I want to work. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This kind of one after the other. They get up there and try to remind someone out there in the audience that. And bear in mind, this was in a closed room. Didn't go outside. Nobody, you know what I mean? They didn't publish. This was insider event. One after the other, they all got up there and tried to reaffirm their heritage, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my experience with comedy. So yeah, I can imagine you probably have a little trouble.
Oh yeah, it's crazy right now. No matter how bad and chaotic it gets, there's this.
I got to tell you another comedy story.
For sure.
A really good one.
Okay.
There's this guy, Rick Messina. You ever heard of him?
Okay, Rick Messina, yeah.
Okay, Rick Messina. He used to be a bartender at Laugh Factory or one of these places. Anyway, he's like a big time manager, Hollywood manager for all this talent. He's got like Rick Allen and what's his name, Drew Carey, a bunch of people like this. Anyway, this guy's a Satanist wizard type guy. He's got a house in Encino, and they had put a hit out on this woman that I went to this Laugh Factory with, you know, another comic, and what it was a satanic thing. They were going to do like a ritual sacrifice or whatever. But anyway, they actually were involved with a gig involving QAnon, and I was running QAnon, and they were coming to attack me. But the people, it was like a Roger Stone thing, but it came down through these guys.
Hold
anyway,
on. What'd you just say? You were running QAnon?
I was running QAnon on Facebook. Okay, I ran a QAnon group on Facebook.
Okay.
I was the voice of QAnon there for a long time. Anyway, they didn't like it because I was hijacking it to do my Getty stuff. Okay, I mean this was back before I really figured out who Trump was and stuff like that. But point is that the Q crowd, the Q people who were actually NSA people, had to put a stop on me. And they did a couple things. They attacked me, but they also shut down. Let me see what they do. They actually stole the digital keys for Facebook so that they could hijack my QAnon page. But before they could successfully delete me from the page, I called Facebook, and Facebook shut down like 1 billion users. If you were on Facebook back in those days, everybody remembers when that happened.
When Facebook was down for a second, then replaced itself.
Yeah. It took like a day. Everybody had to go in, log back in.
I remember that.
All right, that was because of me.
Story. Really?
Yeah, that was me. That happened because these spooks working under Roger Stone had stolen the digital keys, and they broke into Facebook, and it compromised 1.1 billion users. So 1.1 billion users all got logged out and had to log back in. I mean, if you were on Facebook back then, you remember that. But that's why they did it.
Back with like a Trump. There's something about Trump page was different than when the original one had come out.
Well, that happened too, but that had nothing to do with Trump. That was because of these guys trying to break into my page. See, no one had done that before. Okay, broken into because in order to do that, you had to steal what they called the digital keys, and that's what they did. They hacked Facebook, and it was a big scandal. Then, like the next day, YouTube went down.
Hey guys, real quick, the crypto markets are a banging. So I want to tell you one more time about our friend James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Has it pissed you off to watch crypto fly up in prices for a decade and you still have done nothing about it? It makes sense. Crypto's complicated and really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just got to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. Just simply copy along. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has over 54,000 subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 into each, it went on to be well worth $123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said to buy it, okay? That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in the 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who have copied James, then pause what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I said, but my viewers will get a full access for just $1. Yes, you've missed out on Bitcoin, but there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of it? Guys, don't waste your time. Go to the site and read it. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Guys, it's ended money worries for so many. It may just do the same for you. Copymycrypto.com/TFH.
But anyway, I got to go back to this Rick Messina dude. He was behind this big attack. They had this group in Facebook that was trying to take over QAnon. It was called Mayflower. If you guys remember the Mayflower movement.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
do.
Mayflower was a scam. It was set up by, it wasn't just Roger Stone. It was also Alex Jones. He was in on this stuff too.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah, no shit. They recruited this dude out of Texas, and they got this guy's son, who was kind of like an MK Ultra dude. And this guy's name was Kai Irwin. And he was the guy that was running this Mayflower movement. They also used him for running the legalized pot movement. They used him for the Occupy movement when that started. And now they were going to try to shuffle him over to do this other thing. But there's a whole cast of characters, but it all went back to this guy, Rick Messina in Encino. But like I said, this guy had a full-on, the shit that I found at this guy's house, because we did a lot of investigation, psychic type stuff, and it really screwed him up. Okay, and it wasn't just psychic. He owned 2 houses. And in one of the houses, there was a tunnel, and it went all the way to the Skirball Center. You're going to love this, the Skirball Center, which is the largest Jewish cultural center in the United States.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I've been
Snap,
there.
yeah, right? Yeah. And it is, a couple miles away from the Getty, 2.1 miles. It's also connected via tunnel.
Really?
Okay, so remember, these are all networks, okay? The Skirball, when we did this investigation of the Getty way back in 1990, and we did our first astral inspection, and we found all this crap, the first thing we saw was the connection to the Skirball Center. That was the most major thing. UCLA is connected to it, and a lot of the stars, the Hollywood stars and people, Hugh Hefner's house and Angelina Jolie's house and a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of those places are all connected. And they're connected. Ultimately, everything's connected. This is why it's so hard to hide the secret. But the thing is, this Rick Messina dude, he had this club on his property, and they called it the Happy Lizard Club. Okay, and when you went there, and it was like a bar. He had this bar built on his property, and all the comedians and stuff would go hang out with him. Guys like, was that the pedophile guy, Paxton? What his name? Patton.
Yep.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Who?
There's a comedian named something Patton or something like that. Total pedophile. He's like way out in the open.
Okay.
I got pictures of these guys together hanging out. But the point is they did rituals at this Happy Lizard Club. They did satanic rituals. They did stuff where they would have like orgies, and women would get pregnant, and then they would wait for them to get, however, pregnant, and they would have abortions at this thing, and it was all part of the satanic crap. And they did other stuff. They killed people. They probably killed children. The dude ran a wiffle ball thing for kids. Seriously, on his property, he had a wiffle ball baseball thing on his property. Okay, with grandstands and everything. And I know damn well these guys were doing stuff with children. And it's just like this one woman, she called me up from this house and they were trying to drug her and kill her. And I got her on the phone and told her to run out in the middle of the street and start making a whole bunch of noise. And she did. They tried to drag her out back in the house, but she wouldn't go, so they let her go. I should tell you, her name's Terry Joyce. You've probably seen her out there. Okay? She says a lot of nasty things about me nowadays, but they almost got her. Okay? Turned her into a sacrifice. And I'll give you another story. This is another great story having to do with that club. There was a woman, and her husband was a lead on Saturday Night Live. Okay, I don't remember what his name was, but he died. Okay, this was a few years back. Okay, and when he died, this woman kind of like lost her entry to the club. Okay. And when he died, it was kind of like a falling out. These Hollywood things are like half the time when these people die, it's an execution, it's a sacrifice. They all face it. Once you join this club, it's like joining the Masons. Your life is on the line. But anyway, when I first was meeting the trust fund manager, the Getty, the first time I met this dude, he told us a story about some crazy person that drove a car up the fire road, and that's the only way you can get up to the place because you got to use a tram. But she drove up the fire road and tried to drive her car into the Getty, and she ended up on these steps. And when they caught her, she was screaming about needing to get into the bunker. But of course, the Getty guy said all kinds of craziness about what she was saying. He made it sound like she was some sort of a end of the world nut, but that's exactly what she was. But anyway, what happened was when she lost admittance to the club, she lost her connection to the underground. So this is what they do. This is how they get these guys to play along. All these rich people, this is why they do the stuff they do. They say, everyone's going to die except for you, because you're going to get to go underground in this bunker, and you're going to have this really cool condo, and it's going to be a 24 hours party and everything else. And that's what all these people believe. So when they took that away from her, she crashed her car up there and said, let me back in. Because you see, over at that Lizard Bar, there's an entrance to the underground right next door. This is the thing. This is why they do what they do. And underneath the Getty, of course, it's like a 24-hour satanic rave party is what it is. I mean, if you want to know what it's like a rave. With it, I kind of liken it up to like in Pinocchio, when they take Pinocchio to whatever it is, Lost Boys Island or whatever the hell it is, and there's all kinds of food and cigars and everything you could possibly. That's what it's like down there. There's every kind of possible drug, sex, food, stimulus, music, whatever you could imagine is going on down there.
So what's really interesting about that is, we've talked a lot about tunnels on this show. There was a guy named Harry Morton, and Harry Morton was part of the Morton family that owned the steakhouse, and they owned the Hard Rock Casino in Vegas, which I used to do stand up there way back in the day, and it was the best time ever. And then they sold it, and this corporation came in and just drove the casino into the ground to the point that it basically got flipped to Virgin, and now a new casino, Hard Rock's being built on the Strip. Anyways, so I met Harry Morton a long time ago. First time I ever met somebody that rich, and he was a nice guy, but he never there was never a connect, right? You could never connect with the guy eye wise, and he was just kind of talking around you, not to you, but he was kind, Well, he does an interview about in 2000, I'd say 2019, around in October. Wow, he's been gone 5 years. I can't believe that. He does an interview and he starts talking about how all of the major businesses, buildings in Hollywood on Sunset have underground connections, tunnels. Now, hand to God, I've worked at the Kime store forever. I've never seen anything like that. And regardless of what everybody says, I worked at the Standard. My first job was there as a valet. And I never saw anything like that. Not saying that there wasn't somewhere where it could be. I never saw those things. But the reason I bring that up is because he died literally a week after this interview came out. Like right out, he's like, yeah, there's tunnels on Sunset. Bang, he's gone. At a very young age, too. It's like super crazy.
Let me tell you about tunnels. Okay, here's the thing about these tunnels. When you go into them, half the time it just looks like some kind of basement type industrial steam pipes, whatever, you know. And a lot of these old buildings, like you talk about in LA and every big city, even Pasadena, whatever, take it, any city that's like at least 100 years old, it's going to have this stuff. All the big buildings like the police department, the court, the house, whatever, they're all going to be connected. A lot of this has to do with the old mafia stuff, you know, they'd be running humans. When they say it was for prostitutes, that's code for human smuggling. It's the same exactly thing they do today. When they say it was for bootlegging, that's the same as saying it's for smuggling drugs. It's the same thing they do today. One of the big things I'm involved in right now is this big scam in California, from Sacramento up to Reno, which is gold country, El Dorado, Placer County, what have you. And there's some heavy stuff going on there, billion dollar stuff going on there right now. And again, this is mafia, Mason, land speculation. But back to these tunnels. The old buildings are going to have brick. A lot of them nowadays, you go under in their basements, might see a bricked off door going somewhere. That's a tunnel. And trust me, these things go from hell all the way from the edge of LA all the way out to Riverside, the mountains, everything down to the coast, everything you see, all that concrete, there's tunnels under all that stuff. And there's tunnels under the tunnels and tunnels under the tunnels and tunnels under those tunnels.
So they're still being built?
They're being constantly built. A lot of times when people talk about these big booms and little earthquakes in these strange places, that's a bunker being built. Okay, that's a low-yield nuclear bomb going off, usually 4 of them, and it'll make a big cavity. And what they'll do is they get in these cavities with these big earth moving. They'll come in there with these, you know, these tunnel boring machines. See, that's the thing. Everybody talks about tunnels. It's not the tunnels. It's the bunkers. Okay, these things are bunkers. Now, when you talk about tunnels, sure, tunnels are how you go between bunkers. And trust me, there's a lot of tunnels. You die just walking these tunnels. But the bunkers themselves are made out of tunnels because they'll use these nuclear explosions to create a big, huge cavity, you know, hundreds of feet wide, like hundreds of feet tall.
They'll detonate it inside the earth?
Underground, yeah. They'll dig down, whatever, you know, a mile, whatever, and they'll do these nukes, usually 4 of them. They'll make a square, you know, and then they'll drop a nuke down each one of these things. It'll create this big, huge cavity. And then, but what they'll do is they'll get these tunnel boring machines inside these things. They'll build floors, and the big, huge cavity is going to be like a mezzanine kind of like thing, or an atrium. You look at these hotels, they got a big, huge atrium. That's what that is. Okay, so then what they'll do is they'll have these tunnel boring machines radiate out from the center like spokes. Okay, like spokes on a wheel. And these things will be, you know, 200 feet wide, whatever, right? Big, huge tunnels. And it's within those spokes, those tunnels, that they create the living places. Okay, you know, so your condo is going to be, you know, limited within that space. And then, of course, the transit when people talk about tunnels, it's really, transit's what you really think about. That's below everything. So when you're going down into one of these bunkers, and he doesn't even really get into the bunker till you're at least a mile down, and then you're going to have multiple floors of bunker. Okay. And each one of these floors is like a city unto itself, because you think of a city as like we think it's two-dimensional, but it's just the surface of the earth. I mean, it's relatively two-dimensional. We build skyscrapers and stuff. Imagine that as just one level of the bunker, and there'll be multiple stacks. So it's like cities on top of cities, basically. Anyway, when you get to the very bottom of that, well, not the very bottom, but when you get to almost the very bottom, that's when you get into the tubes. They're just going crisscrossing all over the different places. So you want to go to Catalina Island, you want to go to New York, you want to go to Australia, whatever, Hawaii, you jump on a tube. And then below that is where they have the really wicked stuff. Okay. The really wicked stuff. Like the big, there's wicked stuff all over the place. They're eating babies and sacrificing humans all over the place and doing really horrible things to people all over the place. But when you get to the very, very, very bottom is when you get into the really hardcore, high-level satanic ritual stuff. And this is where they're actually dealing with aliens. A lot of people think there's aliens all over the place. No, there's no aliens all over the place. And this is something that's really hard to explain to people, because the aliens our level of reality is different from their level of reality. It's a higher level. They actually have to come down to us. And it's not a dimension, it's a density. So they use portals for this purpose. And portals are actually illegal in the cosmic God's law. God is very much against portals. And they use these portals to move around. So that's how they interact with us. And of course, we provide sustenance for these things, but it's not physical. Okay, they get physical food. They get blood and all that. Of course, these guys want our blood, but they also want our negative human emotional psychic energy, which is called loosh. So we put out this. It's like when the adrenaline, you get that adrenaline thing on, they talk about adrenochrome.
Yes.
Well, there's a mental component too, a spiritual component. It's like an energy, and you're in terror and you're just, you're putting that out. And that's what they're really harvesting. That's the stuff that these guys, 50% of the nutrition that these Draco consume is that, So it's this loosh collection is what it's really all about. Okay, it's not adrenochrome.
So, like, a lot of times I get in trouble with some of the conspiracy community, because I go, it's beyond the Jews. It is their low level, that's low hanging fruit. It's something above it that is way beyond the Abrahamic religions. That the Abrahamic religions are the middle management to all this, even though they are pushing us towards.
Let me tell you about this, dude. Let's just get into this. First of all,
let's get into it.
The Earth has had many epochs. Epochs are only like 20,000 years long. If you go back to like creation, Bible, Adam and Eve and all that, that's supposedly only one epoch. And we look at this, and so begat so-and-so and da-da-da-da. We won't even talk about Abraham right now, but first of all, fuck Abraham, okay? Fuck Abraham. That's all I have to say. Fuck Abraham. Abraham was a pimp. That's it. And I can't stand it when I'm a Christian myself, but I get these evangelical types, and they think that Abraham is a good person. And I said, really, go fetch your Bible. Bring it right here. Let's open up Genesis, and let's read about Abraham and his pimping and his whore wife and how they made their nut pimping the damn Pharaoh. Okay, so fuck Abraham. But here's the thing. The kingdom of Solomon, the kingdom of David, even though everybody acts like it was a big fucking deal, it wasn't. The big deal was Phoenicia, right next door in Lebanon. Solomon didn't build the temple. The Phoenicians built the temple. The Phoenicians provided the lumber. The Phoenicians provided the stone. They provided everything. The Phoenicians where this cult, this baby killing, this human killing cult came from. Everybody wants to blame the Babylonians, sure, Moloch and all that, but the Phoenicians were bigger. The Phoenician Empire, no one even knows how big it was. We know it was the entire Mediterranean. Carthage, of course, was really big. The only place Phoenicia did not occupy was Italy and Greece. Okay. And you know what? Once the Phoenicians sailed past Gibraltar, nobody knows where they were. And they went all the way to Australia because they can find that stuff in Australia. And what do they find? They find their sacrificial altars or their tophets where they killed humans. The Phoenicians invented banking. They invented the alphabet. They invented slavery. They invented human sacrifice. They invented Satanism. They invented all of this stuff. They invented usury. They invented fiat currency. Everything that we associate with the, pretender posers, Khazarians, whatever you want to call them.
Do you believe in Khazarians?
Of course. Khazaria is why they want to destroy Russia, because they want it back. And their capital was Kiev. But, here's the thing. You want to really talk about it. It's about Chabad. Chabad, if you take all the Jews in the world, which are basically 2% of the entire world population, out of all the Jews, only 2% of them are Chabad. And it's Chabad are the Satanist mafia bastards that started the Illuminati with Weishaupt and Meyer and Amschel Meyer Rothschild. They're Chabad. The Chabad is the mafia. When I talk about this world mafia Intertel, it's run by Chabad. Okay. Now, when I'm dealing with Templars, okay, that stuff goes back to the Magna Carta, 19 or 1300, whatever the hell. Okay. The law of the world, the law of the land, the law of the West, the one that they're following in the Euro, like the one that's getting us to war in Ukraine, that's Magna Carta. Okay. And it all goes back to the crown. And people say, well, the crown is that's not necessarily England. That has more to do with the Templars. But no, the Templars and the Vatican and the nobles and the Hospitaliers and all these guys, they're just signers to the Magna Carta. So it's like that's the original mafia right there. It was like if you took all the families, all the godfathers, and they got together and had a big mafia meeting, that was the Magna Carta. And they're still following those rules today. And the great, great godfather, the patron, is the damn crown. And the seat of the crown is under the Getty. And that's why I'm focused on the Getty, because whoever can take over that Getty is going to take over the crown, and whoever takes over the crown is going to end this shit once and for all. Because, here's the thing. You could fight them to the death, but if you want to end them, you got to take the seat of power. You got to seize the crown. That's why we are going after the Getty, because that's the seat of power. That's the crown. That's where the crown jewels are. That's where the Vatican Library is. That's where the Alexandria Library is. That's where all the money is. That's where all the gold is. That's where all the art is.
This is so interesting. I look up Magna Carta. So you're telling me the mafia are the barons? Is that who they were? The barons?
The barons and the aristocracy and all those guys are signers. They're all signers to the Magna Carta, because you got to remember, during that time back in Runnymede, whatever it was, 1300, you had King John, and King John had the Vatican behind him or whatever, and that included the Templars and the Hospitaliers. And then you had the aristocrats, the guys who were fighting. That would be the barons and the nobles and what have you. And basically, when they signed this peace treaty with King John, they said, all of us are going to get together and we're going to promise not to fight, not to compete, and we're going to allow everybody to have their own little thing going on. We're not going to interfere. But what's going to happen is that the crown is going to technically own 20% of everything. Now, this is mafia. Okay? I mean, we're talking about that show Narcos. It's the same damn thing. Okay? It's like all the little plazas are going to give 20% to the patron. You know, it's what it is.
Hey guys, are you like me, busier than ever? Don't have a lot of time to prepare your food? Well, that's where our friends at Home Chef come in. The oven ready meal kits right to your house. Let me tell you about Home Chef. You know, I love my meal kits, okay? Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and the cook times is what drew me to Home Chef over the other guys, okay? Home Chef meals are effortless, even for someone like me who isn't making Top Chef anytime soon. I'm not good at cooking. I want to get better, and Home Chef makes it easier and easier on me, okay? Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time, okay? I love Home Chef. Dude, Home Chef even has delicious kid-friendly family meals with 18 new options each week. It's a picky eater approved and takes the stress out of dinner time. Look at some of these meals. Look at this. Oh my God. Orange, ginger, sesame, pork, meatballs. Holla at your boy. Keep going.
Tuscan style trout.
Come on, let's go. Dude, what else we got? We got Mexicali.
That Mexicali cheesy penne is the
Let's go, bro. So it's real simple, real fun, really tasty. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/tinfoil. Did I just read that right? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life.
amazing.
Amazing. All you got to do is go to homechef.com/tinfoil for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Oh my God. My disclaimer voice must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Respect.
Well, like the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds, they can't become royalty. They can't become the crown, but what they can do, they can marry into it. They can have artificial babies like Kate is having. I mean, I'll tell you something. The crown is in big trouble right now because Prince Harry and that other idiot, they're worthless. Those babies are worthless. I don't think Kate had a real live royal babies. I don't even think Kate is royal. You got to have a royal woman to make royal babies. And that's why this woman that Harry married is worthless, because she's not a royal. None of her babies could ever be royal. You know, and this is why they had to kill Diana, because she was like the last good royal around. And if she had a baby with Dodi Fayed, that baby would have been royal.
Yep. Yep. She had a Middle Eastern kid. She's about to have a Middle Eastern kid.
They would have had to accept a royal Muslim into the family. And that's the thing, is that it's not the men, it's not the boys. Diana didn't have a daughter. She had 2 boys. Those boys are worthless without a female. And this is why there's so much incest. This is why they've been doing this ever since Noah. They've been doing this since the pharaohs. Man, this is how they keep the royal blood moving, because it comes from the female. It's just like you're not a true Jew unless your mother was a Jew. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's this whole belief that Ben Franklin and a bunch of the founding fathers signed a deal with the crown that they get a giant portion of our taxes. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because that kind of fits into what you were talking about.
Well, of course. First of all, they were Masons. Okay. Now, second of all, the Masons weren't even infiltrated until 1776. Okay. Up until 1776, they were just a fraternal organization, but they were a secret fraternal organization. And they had a lot of power. And this is why Weishaupt, Jacob Frank, the big Frank, and Rothschild decided that was going to be the group that they would take over and turn into the basis of the Illuminati. Okay, but when they would have done that, they would have had to have done that, because the Masons, just like anyone else, are signers to the Magna Carta. So they would have had to have pledged 20%. Even if the crown never took possession, it would still technically belong to the crown. 20% of everything.
That's incredible, dude. So
Well,
because nobody really understands how taxes work. Everyone's like, "I'm tired of my tax money. Go to this." Your tax money isn't going to that. Your tax money is going to paying off the Babylonian money magic that is the Federal Reserve. Am I wrong here?
yeah, well, when I realize now it's not even Babylonian, it's damn Phoenician. It's like these guys, you think they're good at hiding. Okay. It's like the Khazars hiding behind the Jews, the Chabad hiding behind the Jews. Hell, the Phoenicians are hiding behind the Jews. It's the fucking Phoenicians. When they go back, all right, here's a good way of knowing the truth. Okay, there are 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
After King Solomon died, the country split in two. 10 tribes go north, 2 tribes stay south. Okay. The kingdom of the north with the 10 tribes weren't even run by their king wasn't even related to Solomon. The ones in the south, that was the son of Solomon. But the guy that was running the north, whatever his name was, he was like Solomon's, chauffeur or some crap. Anyway, point is that the guys in the south got taken over by Babylon because they were weak. There's only 2 tribes. They were easy. Okay, so Babylon took them out, took them to Babylon. So we hear all about the Babylonian Talmud and all that. That was those 2 tribes. Okay, an insignificant portion of the entire Israeli people. The guys in the north, they were right next to Lebanon. There were 19 kings that served after Solomon in the north before they finally fell to Assyria. And the whole time that country was in operation, from the time of Solomon to the very end, they were doing human sacrifice. They were killing babies. Okay, now these kings, they didn't have just one wife. They had maybe, 12, 19, 20 wives. They didn't mind throwing one of those babies in the fire. They had plenty of babies. And they called that passing your child through the fire, passing your son through the fire. And this was a celebration to Melqart. And Melqart is a Phoenician deity, and everyone, if you try to get the historians to tell you this, they're going to say, oh, no, BS, BS. Melqart is Hercules, the same guy that the Greeks and the Romans will refer to as Hercules. You could call him Nimrod, you could call him whatever you want, but this is the oldest thing. These guys go back 6,000 BC. Nobody goes back that far. Okay? This is as old as it gets. They were the original civilization, the original Semites. The first to appear in the Fertile Crescent was the Phoenicians. Okay, and they've been hiding. Phoenicians from Phoenicia. Nobody talks about
Sumerians? Them. Were they older than Sumerians?
Yes, they're the oldest ones, man. The oldest ones. Everything that came, that we think of in the like the Babylonians, we think of the Hittites, the Amorites, whatever, all these different stuff. The Phoenicians were the first ones, the most widespread. Okay, and the thing about the Phoenicians is that they didn't have a centralized government. They had city-states, and that's why Phoenicia Prime, which is what is basically Lebanon, wasn't the same thing as, say, Carthage, which was, I don't know what that was, Libya or whatever, right? Spain. When you think about the Sephardic Jews that went to Spain, they're Phoenicians. Okay, the only people that had a navy were the Phoenicians because they had the Lebanese cedar. No one else had the trees to make the ships but the Lebanese, the damn Phoenicians. Solomon, David, did they have a navy? They didn't have shit. The Pharaoh didn't have a navy. The best the Pharaoh could do was make boats that could sail on the Nile because their little acacia trees could barely make a board 4 foot long. But a cedar, on the other hand, you could make big-ass giant ships. So they ruled. And they could take those ships as far as Australia. And what did they do? They looked for bronze. They looked for tin. They made their bronze. They looked for their copper and their tin. This was the Bronze Age. They ruled because they knew they had the metallurgy, they had the geology, they had the ability to find these metals, and they went all over the world to look for these metals, and that's why they ruled. But, again, what had happened to Carthage, they were destroyed by, Rome. And Rome hated them so much that they sowed salt into their land so that they couldn't grow food, which is incredible because salt was an incredibly scarce commodity back in those days. So that's crazy. But why
And
did they
did
hate
to
them
the
so much?
Phoenicians. They did to the Phoenicians?
Yes,
Rome.
Carthage was Phoenicia. Okay. Carthage was Carthage was Phoenicia, Spain was Phoenicia, the entire northern coast of Africa that was not Egypt was Phoenicia. Okay, everything but Egypt, and what the Greeks and the Romans, that little bit up there, the Aegean and Italy, that was not Phoenician, but the Phoenicia was everything else.
Do
Okay.
you think that any of this history has anything to go on with what's going on with Israel and Lebanon right now?
Totally, totally. It's all the same thing. It's the same people. It's all the same people. You know, I mean, basically, if you take the Babylonian religion, you take all these satanic type things, they all trace back to this Phoenician stuff. And if anything, by pointing us at Moloch and saying, "Oh, those damn Babylonians," hell, their influence was tiny compared to the influence of the Phoenicians, who are actually, I mean, hell, they still make kids movies about Hercules, saying how wonderful Hercules was. You know, talk about a psyop. I mean, that's like, could you imagine if you reverse Hercules as Moloch, the adventures of Moloch? It's the same damn thing. It's worse. You know, hell, I used to get in arguments with Grok on Twitter about this stuff. And even Grok would have to admit, well, you know, yeah, they probably did commit human sacrifice for Melkart, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now is this the city of Tyre?
Tyre was a Phoenician city. Tyre was
Yes,
an
dude.
island, yeah.
It was fortified, and this even goes all the way back to why you see a lot of
Alexander the Great, man. Conquered
Yes,
Tyre.
dude. Holy shit.
But here's the thing that people don't understand is that even though Tyre was a little like a country unto itself, they were dedicated to Melkart or whatever it was. They still followed. It's almost like if you look at Israel today and you look at these different countries, you try to understand, well, who's really running this stuff? It was the same thing back then. Because even though that Tyre was technically not even a Phoenician city, it was something else, it was being attacked as if it was a Phoenician city. Okay. When the story of Tyre was an island, and what Alexander did is he built a pier, a jetty that went all the way out to the island with rocks, and that's how he conquered the island. And that the island is no longer an island now because those rocks got, it's like all dirt now. There's a city built there. Crazy story. But yeah, they did slaughter all those people.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. And you go back, the main gods of the Phoenicians were Baal, right?
No, man, it was Melkart. Baal,
there it is, god of Tyre, who was associated with Hercules.
Baal was actually Moloch, who was actually a man. It was like a Babylonian version of Melkart. Okay. But, everyone wants to point their fingers at the Babylonians. Hell, the Babylonians, I mean, they came and went. There's a lot of big civilizations, and people have to understand is that when they were at their prime, they kind of like covered all the territory. Okay. When Babylonian was big, it was like real big. When Assyria was big, it was real big. When Egypt was big, it was real big. Phoenicia was always real big. They were big longer than anybody. I mean, we don't even know how big they were. They had colonies all over the world that we're never even going to know about. I mean, they're digging up Phoenician encampments on the west coast of Australia. I mean, crazy stuff,
Yeah, I mean, what's going on? And it seems to be like this global mafia is making their move right now to really tighten shit up. And what role do you think the internet has in like this kind of awakening coming, and did they create it, not understand what it was going to be, or is it doing exactly what they wanted it to do?
Well, it was originally a DARPA thing, and yeah, it did get out of control. What really screwed it up for the powers that be are personal computers. Okay, that's what really did it, because once you gave people the power to do desktop publishing, you could suddenly write books and do blogs and all that stuff like we're talking about right now, like we're doing right now. What we're doing right now is the equivalent of having a printing press back in the 1700s and putting out leaflets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you read the protocols, right? You read the protocols, it says right there that they're going to control all the organs of the information, the distribution, the printers, the leaflets, and then they get into theater, blah, 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 TV. Well, now they're doing everything they can to control this. I mean, like I said, I just got kicked off Twitter. Elon is definitely one of them.
What'd you say? What'd you do on Twitter?
What was the guy you kicked off?
I upset a Jew, okay? Do you got to ask?
Jew magic.
I call it the protected class. This is what happened. I said, "Why do you even live?" Now that doesn't even sound very bad, right? But I said it to a Jew, and that was hate. He's questioning my right to exist.
It's so crazy.
That's what happened.
So crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm very upset about it. Very upset. And that's why I want your show to do incredible work today. I expect people just go, and because the only revenge I can get is by, and don't make no mistake, I am on a revenge mission. This mission, Occupy the Getty. Yeah. This is a scorched earth policy. I am not here to get somebody elected. I am here to destroy the entire control structure of the earth that's been in place for 25 million fucking years.
Let's go, bro. So what I find very interesting is I first learned of you, Steven, through a lecture video that you were giving about the Getty. And that's when I first learned about you. And I found what you were saying was fitting in to everything I was learning. And, it's like, again, I have friends of mine who are normies. Most people I know is normies. My girlfriend's a normie, I still love them. They're normies. They think I say crazy stuff. And like the first time I start to like really detach from everybody is the Pizzagate stuff. And so we're doing deep dives into that. We're getting it, you have people like Mouthy Buddha. You have like all these wonderful memory hole. These guys are doing great research into Comet Ping Pong and all that stuff. And, they're talking about like, hey, dude, Comet Ping Pong has tunnels that connect to the Pegasus Museum. Everyone's talking all about that. And then I meet with my friends, even I would say like within a year ago, I meet with a good friend of mine from high school, and he's like a super normie. We love each other, but he's like, and Pizzagate's not real. And I go, well, at the least it's Jeffrey Epstein. At the least. And we kind of, I don't like to fight with people anymore because like I get into, that's when, it's kind of one of these new conspiracy theorists who are like Paul revering it, and like the pedophiles are coming and people getting angry at me. Johnny was there. My friend puts hands on me. This is how it kind of goes. And so when I see your video, I go, this kind of lines up with me. This kind of fits what I've been learning about on the West Coast. So why wouldn't it be on happen on the East Coast? Why would it be on the West Coast? And then right near when your video is kind of circulating around, suddenly there's a giant fire at the Getty.
Or two.
Yeah. There's all these fires at the Getty. And I go, wow, that's really crazy that this video of this guy giving a giant lecture is going around, and now suddenly there's a fire. So take us through how you discovered what was going on at the Getty.
Oh my God, you guys are going to have to read the book. Let me see if I can do this quick because we could talk for hours. But first of all, I had my big wake up with the NSA guys or the with the death squad thing. That's that whole, narcos business with the going in there killing everybody in the village. That's what broke me, was learning about that stuff. Having them tell me about that stuff broke me because they were the people I was working with. But I became like an outsider. All right. And remember, I didn't even really even think about it. And I thought I was anti-CIA. I was like, became famous for being the guy that had sort of went against the CIA and was sort of fighting against them. So I got attracted to a lot of stuff. One of the things I got attracted to me was the whole alien business with Billy Meyer. Okay. So I got connected to the Billy Meyer gang. I got exposed to all the Pleiadian stuff and everything else, and of course that was really crazy to me. I had to file that stuff away, but that when I started messing around with the whole UFO business, it started attracting a bunch of attention. This is when I really had guys follow me around and weird phone call stuff going on all the time, and that's just because of my background being a electro-optical engineer. I'm also an inventor, and I developed all these processes. And one of the processes I came up with was using fine silver, and it turns out that that's how they build these UFOs, was basically using a version of that process. I'll throw it also in there that I also learned that this process was involved in light speed propulsion, because I worked with them on that stuff, light speed propulsion. I did all kinds of top secret stuff, okay, but I never had any kind of I was on the outside, okay. I did everything, all my lasers and everything were me, making it for me. And when I put it out there like a new laser weapon or something, I didn't get anybody's permission. I just did it. All right, but as far as that particular bunker is concerned, I had at least two guys that were trying to become my handler, if you will. Okay. And they both turned out to be actual reptile aliens. I didn't find that out until many years later. There were humans.
I'm listening.
One guy was a dick. The other guy was really cool, but they both turned out to be fucking reptiles. But anyway, each one of those guys led me to this underground stuff. The first guy, they've been trying to get me out to Area 51 for a long time, okay, because of my technology stuff. And I've been resisting it. I had children, I had a family. There was no way you're going to get me out there. And I wouldn't go out there no matter what, but they kept trying, even since the first days with the Ollie North gang. That was what the NSA guys were. That was the Ollie North gang I was working for. They were trying to get me out to Area 51. And so we were talking about bunkers. I mean, Area 51, where everyone knows it's a bunker, and we knew what was going on. So the idea of having bunkers wasn't a mystery to me at all. But when I was in California, I figured out that the Getty was a bunker, but that didn't get confirmed. I mean, I had suspicions, psychic stuff. I kind of knew something was off because of that. But then what happened was my brother's friend, his friend, became the trust fund manager for the Getty. And when that happened, we got all the inside scoop on everything. And we figured out there was something going on. And that's when we brought in some psychics to check the place out. And when we did that, we found the bunker, got all the details, and brought that shit up to the surface. And then as soon as that happened, they knew we did it. Okay. So this is how it's true, because we didn't tell anybody. It was an astral projection thing, but the very next day they were freaking out because they knew it had happened, because they have all these Nazi psychics, as we call them, or Vril. Some people call them Vril, and those are the Sith. Okay, we're the Jedi; they're the Sith. Anyway, they detected our incursion and told everybody about it. So they threatened us. The first thing they did was threaten us. They told that trust fund dude, "You got to stop your connection to these guys." This is before they even knew about me. They were dealing with my brother, and he said, "No way. These are my people. you want me, my people come with me. And it's all about new blood, okay? Because the old blood is going underground, so the new blood is sort of taking up a position. So that's what's going on right now. The old blood's going underground. Anyway, eventually they sat down. Eventually, I met the trust fund manager. I went out to dinner with him and my brother and this other dude, and that's when they figured out who I was. Okay, because they thought my brother. They used their crystal ball to basically locate my brother because he's my twin. We're twins, and they thought they found me, but it was actually him. And then when they met me, they go, "Oh, you're the dude we've been looking for." Because you're the one that's going to destroy us, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. And we'd like to talk to you about that. We'd like to know how you're going to do it. And from that point on, they tried to recruit me, and try to get me. And I got involved in stuff. This was during the Clinton administration, and I got involved in This is when they wanted me to develop technology to fight aliens, basically. Okay. And I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out some sort of weapon, to fight aliens with. And I realized it was a joke. There's no way, you can't do it. The only thing we could do was psychic. That was it. That's the only thing we got going on. And that's when I got into all this psychic business. And that's where I am right now. So yeah, I'm a Jedi. Okay. That's what I do. I'm a Jedi. That's a CIA thing. Okay. They say that, but I call it Jedi, but we work for Jesus basically. And you got to be a Christian to do this stuff. And it has nothing to do with religion, but Jesus is the boss, because the bad guys, their boss is Lucifer. Our boss is Jesus. It's real simple. I don't care what religion you are. If you want to do this stuff, your commander is going to be Jesus. It's just the way it is. It's been that way for millions of years.
Why do you think they picked you, Steven? I seen your notes that the global mafia picked you to help humanity. Who are they? Do we know these organizations, and why do you think they picked you?
You read the protocols, right? You all read the protocols?
I haven't read anything, but
Dude.
Johnny has. Johnny has read protocols.
All right, go read the protocols and then read it again and then read it again and then read it again. They were trying to turn me into like an antichrist. Okay, that's basically what it boils down to. I'm like a king to them, kind of a thing, and it goes back to this Da Vinci Code stuff, Mary Magdalene, or Christ having babies, that kind of thing. I'm a Catholic, so I don't follow that. But these Templars, that's what they believe.
They believe that Jesus had babies.
Templars' job on Earth is to locate all of the children of Christ and keep tabs on them 24/7.
Is that what 23andMe is about?
Yeah. It's true. Okay, my family, the reason why they had such a hard time finding me is because my family on one side of the family got on the boat, got on the Mayflower and came over here and brought some royal blood with it. And then on my dad's side, that was my dad's side. And my mom's side, they were Templar. Okay. There was a Templar family, and the Templars have different factions, faction A, faction B. And at different times, there would be big fights between the factions, and one happened during World War I and the other one happened during World War II. And my family, my side of that was my mother's side of the family, came over here during World War I, but they were like Templar blue blood, and they went into hiding. So this is why it was so hard to find me, because both of these sides of the family went into hiding. And then my mom and my dad, both their mothers, ran off and went into hiding. It's like mom takes the kids and disappears. Both my parents' mothers did that. So I was completely separated from my bloodline. That's why it was so hard for them to keep tabs on us, that they didn't have 23andMe and all that stuff going on. And that's the other thing about this whole COVID business. One of the first things that they hit us with when I started getting involved with these Getty guys was they wanted to go to Noah's Ark and they wanted to take samples because they had located what they believed to be the toilet, and they were going to take biological samples, petrified stool samples, and, characterize the DNA, and they were going to use that information to locate who came from the ark and who didn't. Because that's another thing. There were two arks. There was more than one ark. There was a flood and there were two arks. That's a long that you got to read the Epic of Gilgamesh. They talk about that stuff. That book's older than the Bible.
You said you're a little sidekick. Any remote viewing? Can you do?
I do
any
remote
of that?
viewing. Yeah, I do remote viewing. I'll just tell you this thing though. I don't like doing remote viewing when I'm wide awake. I can do it when I'm wide awake, but I don't really like to do it. I'd rather not. It's really not my thing. I don't consider myself a remote viewer. It's just one of those things. I know a lot of people who are really good. I've met a guy in Brazil who could tell me what I had for dinner and tell me what color my plate was and where in the kitchen it is that I left it and what's left on the plate. I can't do that. But what I do, my big thing is I have this altar who I call Rambo, because Rambo looks like me. Except Rambo is very much a very military, kind of a Conan sort of person. If you took like a Conan Terminator / commando guy, that's what Rambo looks like. He looks like me except a little shorter. So if you were to run into me on the other side, you'd be running into Rambo.
Okay.
But I don't.
Interesting.
I don't have any connection. I don't remember anything. I don't want to remember anything. I asked him why I don't get to remember anything, and I used to be really pissed off because this is really frustrating, and so I got a little glimpse of some of the stuff, one of the actions. It was like at night, of course. I got to see some of the crap that was going on in the caves, the stuff that we were fighting. And I'm like, oh, okay. I understand now. But anyway, yeah, so when I recruit people to do this Jedi stuff, they don't get to remember anything. In fact, if you are a remote viewer and you join my team, you're no longer going to be a freelance. You're no longer going to be able to go off and just remote view whatever you want, whenever you want. You're going to be in the Army and you're going to be going and doing what you're told, and you're not going to have any memory of anything because that's the way we work. So
I've heard this story. We've Roop, we've had on before, a guest. He did remote viewing. He has told me that the White House and the president has like security in other realms. Is that true?
Okay, let me describe how that works. When you say other realms, we're talking about densities. Okay, this is the thing. Nobody talks about densities. And if you want to understand quantum physics and you want to understand interstellar travel and all this stuff and aliens and everything, you got to understand densities. There's 9 levels of density. The very top level, number 9, is God, which is absolutely 100% thought, intention, idea, no physical whatsoever. The lowest level, number 1, is inanimate objects, 100% physical, no spiritual whatsoever. It's just like Tesla said, it's all about 3, 6, 9. It's divided into threes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's this level that we're on right now. We are number 3, plants and animals. Number 2, rocks. Number 1, everything has a soul. Above us is number 4, 5, and 6. 4 is hell. 5 is heaven. 6 is angels. Okay, and above that is 7, 8, and 9. 7 is Jesus and the ascended masters. 8 is the Holy Spirit, and 9 is God, the Creator. That's the Holy Trinity. Very important stuff. So when you say other realms, it's just like when we fight in the Getty. When I do the astral stuff and we're fighting in the Getty, we're not fighting in the 3D, we're fighting in the 4D.
And you're saying 4D is hell?
Yeah, 4D is hell.
We're below hell.
Yeah, we're below hell. But the Matrix, the way the Matrix is set up is that you actually jump levels. Okay, so we don't automatically go to 4. We want to go to 5, but you have decisions to make while you're in 3. And this is the big secret. It's like
Tell
it's
me
like
why I
heaven and
got to
hell.
make better decisions. Tell me.
All right, and the bottom line: service to others versus service to self.
Got that. Almost
Okay?
got stabbed
You
the other
have
day
to be
because I was
over
giving away money.
51% service to others. That's
I
the
give
secret.
it all away. I
right.
keep these guys on the show. I mean, that's enough, sir.
There you
Oh,
go.
more than enough.
You knew there was a reason for that. There it is.
Oh, Sam, you're getting into heaven.
Oh, there we
Dude.
go.
But that's the thing. Hell, watering the grass and feeding the animals and the birds, that's service to others. That all adds up. Okay? Everything you can do, it adds up. You're watering the grass, you're serving every single blade of grass. You're giving it sustenance, you're serving it. You know, it's real important that society moves into this direction. That's what paradise is. When we move out of this selfish thing, we're going to go back to paradise. That's what the Occupy the Getty mission actually is all about, is moving this world into basically paradise. It's by shifting the entire paradigm. And the only way that happens is by defeating these guys in the 4D. So when we talk about these different levels, think of it as like a nesting doll. Okay. You got different layers and they're all nested in each other. We've got multiple layers above us, and these layers, it's like your aura has levels. Okay. So when you have your feet in each one of these levels, okay, because we came from source, everything comes from number 9. It goes down to 1 and it works its way back up.
What is level 1?
Level 1 is inanimate objects. Okay. So the bottom 3 we detect. Okay. But the spirit realm, that's the next 3. That's 4, 5, 6. Okay. And above the spirit realm is the realm of the creator, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. And if you want to get into physics, okay, here's how it works. Matter is compressed energy, and energy is compressed time. So which one is which? 1, 2, and 3 is matter. 3, 4, 5, and 6 is energy. And 7, 8, and 9 is time. This is the nature of the universe, dude. This is the matrix. Anyway, the point is that we have to make this decision to skip over and make these proper choices, because otherwise you get stuck on level 4. Going to hell is getting stuck on level 4. But here's the thing about level 4, or going to hell. It's not permanent. Everyone thinks hell is eternity. No, it's not. It's only about 3 years. Okay, it's only about 3 years.
Hell is only 3 years.
Well, all right. I know this. Remember, I told you I had these handlers, and one of them was a reptile.
Yeah.
I didn't know about him being a reptile or nothing until I was having this conversation with Rambo through the psychic once, and Rambo was telling me all this stuff. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, what about this Tom Hansen guy?" And he goes, "Oh, he was a reptile." I'm like, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, we tossed him into the lake of fire." I'm like, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah, but he's out now. He's here. He works with us. Do you want to talk to him? He says he's sorry." I'm like, so that told me, it's like the guy, I always wondered why these guys were so afraid of me. These spooks. I just call them spooks. But seriously, they were terrified of me. And once I figured out that this guy was a spook and not, a businessman like he tried to claim, he went and disappeared, and I never knew what happened to him until Rambo told me Rambo caught up with him. And yeah, I agree now. I know he was a damn alien because he was screwing my mom, okay, to get to me. He met my mom on a golf course, and he did that just to get to me, to recruit me, whatever, to try to be my handler. He offered me like $60 million. But I got so tired of his bullshit, I finally called him out, and I realized the whole damn time he was spying on me, because this is when I was heavily mixed up in this alien business, and the whole how to make UFOs and crap. And he were trying to get me out to Area 51. And as soon as he started talking about Area 51, I knew damn well that this guy had been spying on me. He knew about my research. He knew about all this stuff that I hadn't told him, unless he had been listening into my private conversations. So, that was a clue. But eventually, it was dealing with all these spooks and aliens and crap is what led me to the damn Getty. I mean, it's hard to keep shit like this secret. But the thing is the way they freaked out once that thing got discovered. And remember, I never said anything. Okay, but when my brother called me up and said, "Holy shit, I just got the report back from the remote viewer," and he told me everything, and I said, "Holy crap, they are going to kill us for sure now." Several times in my life, I thought I was dead. And when that happened, when I heard that on the phone, I thought, "Oh my God, I am really dead now." Next day, they're freaking out. But what do? Instead of trying to kill us, they try to recruit us. You know, that they tried to give you this is how they recruit you. They give you a military rank. They turn you to like a major, whatever that is, and they pay you whatever a major gets paid, and you sign a contract and you sign your life away, just like when you join the military. You guys know what I mean? Any of you guys military? No? Well, when you join the military, you sign your life away. You are no longer a citizen. You have no rights whatsoever. It's all gone. Okay. And that's for the rest of your life. They can, anytime they want, they can pick you up and ship you off to Leavenworth. Okay. That's how they keep these guys in line. I wasn't going to fall for that crap. Hell, I was making 120 grand a year. What did I want? Their Peasley ass 70,000 or whatever it was they're offering, screw that. That was back in 1990. And they were shooting down airplanes. And that's what really pissed me off, because they had just got, when I started working with them, I told them no more shooting down airplanes, because they shot down Flight 800. You guys look back at Flight 800. That was a Star Wars weapon that they used to shoot that thing down. And they flat out admitted that they did it. And they didn't really say why they did it, but they didn't deny it. And I told them when I started working for them, I said, "Okay, no more shooting down airplanes, or I'm not going to work for you." And what did they do? Halloween, shoot down Flight 990. I knew damn well. It's like bastards. And this was right before Desert Storm and all that crap. And that's why they do this, because it's a big ass human sacrifice to Mars or whatever, god of war. That's what that was all about. But
Damn.
I've been their enemy ever since. Okay, and I'll tell you why they wanted me to be their king. They wanted me to go down there and sit on their stupid throne and all this shit. But I had to basically accept that everybody else needed to die. Okay, their whole big thing is that they're better than everybody else, and that they're like gods, and they're special. They're like Olympians, and that all of us are expendable, and we're animals. It doesn't matter. And
Steven,
yeah.
Do you think this goes back to fallen angels' war on God's greatest creation?
Right. The fallen angels are Anunnaki. Okay. And there's a lot of human hybrids roaming around the earth.
Yeah.
And there's three entities that are the bad guys. And that is the Anunnaki, the Draco, and the Gray. Those are the bad guys. Everyone else is cool. The Pleiadians, whatever, they're cool. But those three are so uncool that God has basically put a hit out on them. And that's what we are. That's our job. That's what the Jedi are for. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We're not trying to slaughter humans. We're here to slaughter Anunnaki, Gray, and Draco. And right now we're slaughtering Draco. And there's 250 million Draco and 250 million Anunnaki and 250 million Gray. And they're all got to go. Okay. And when they're gone, we get paradise on earth. So as far as the Anunnaki, hell, the Anunnaki are here right now. Marduk is here right now. If you're into Anunnaki crap, they're here right now. They've been collecting gold to make monoatomic gold, which they require, because they use it in their atmosphere to keep as an infrared shield or something, like a blanket they put in their atmosphere. They also breathe the shit, they consume it, and it gives them, it affects them genetically. If you know anything about monoatomic gold, it actually affects you genetically. It enhances your psychic skill. But those of us who are psychic, we don't need no monoatomic gold. That's like taking heroin to to get enlightenment. You don't need heroin to get enlightened. You don't need acid to get enlightened. Okay? The trick to being enlightened is realizing that you are enlightened.
Let me ask you something, Steven.
Yeah.
So when we had all this, let's storm Area 51, and everyone was laughing about it, and then they said let's storm the Federal Reserve, and then Facebook got real scared and shut that shit down. Do you think that was an intelligence operation to find out who's willing to put their name on that shit? And why don't we do that with the Getty?
That's exactly why they do it. All right. The whole purpose of Occupy the Getty was to give us a target that would actually do something. And I came up with this back during Lavoy. You remember Lavoy Finicum?
No.
Bundy Ranch. You guys remember Bundy Ranch? Okay, that was an uprising that took place, sovereigns and all this stuff, where they basically stood up to the government. And anyway, people forget that so quick. But anyway, that happened here in the U.S. not too long ago.
What was it called? What ranch?
Bundy Ranch.
Bundy Ranch.
You guys got to look that shit up, man. It wasn't that long ago. Come on,
I feel
man.
like I've heard that.
show
Here
on
we
that.
go. Bundy Ranch.
All
Yeah,
know
we got a
this
show
I
stuff.
do remember that. It was under a bridge, right? And there was
Yeah, it all took place under a bridge. Anyway, I was very heavily involved in that crap because of my work with Revolution Radio, which was also a gatekeeper operation. And I realized that they create these BS events to polarize us and to point the spotlight someplace that it's not going to cause any harm. So I realized that if I create this movement to do the same damn thing, just like the Occupy the movement, the original Occupy the movement, the whole message of Occupy the movement was end the Fed. But what happened? It turned into gay rights, gun rights, pay off student debt, whatever bullshit, because nobody could settle on one damn soundbite. And that's the thing about Occupy the Getty. We have a very simple message: save the children. Very simple. There's none of this other shit. We focus on this one thing, and what I give everyone in the world should give a damn about children. They should give a damn that there's these bastards are down there eating our children. Okay? I don't care how wicked you are. Well, maybe if you're a Satanist, that doesn't apply. But even the shit they're doing down there is so bad that it makes even the Satanists sick. Seriously, the Satanists don't even want to describe what's going on down there because it's so damn heinous. But the point is that this should be enough cause for all of us to unite, because there's no excuse. And I'll tell you, ultimately, if we get close to this thing, if I could actually get 10,000, 100,000 people to actually join me and actually march on this damn thing peacefully, what's going to happen? They're going to say, continuity of government, top secret, NSA, all this kind of crap. And you're going to think, what the hell does a museum have to do with continuity of government and NSA? Why is the government spending $1 trillion to build a bunker underneath a bastion of elitism? That's the thing, because there's no excuse. If you said, well, there's a bunker under Denver Airport, people go, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, there's a bunker under Area 51. Well, sure, I understand. Oh, there's a bunker under the Pentagon, a bunker under the White House, a bunker under this, a bunker under that. Yeah, these bunkers all over the place. There's hundreds of them. They build one every 3 months. But the one under the Getty is the most important, because it's the one that doesn't belong. There's no reason for a bunker to be under that fucking Getty. And why did they build that bunker under the Getty? First of all, the bunker was there first. The Getty is just a entrance. And what has the Getty got? The Getty is a $12 billion structure. And that's probably not even the exact cost of the structure, but they spent at least $12 billion, the most expensive piece of real estate in the entire area. And then what's it filled with? Artwork that you can't even put a price on. It's got so much value, they can't even tell you what the value is. It's literally priceless. So now you have a $12 billion structure filled to the brims with priceless Western artifacts. And it has a bunker underneath it. Not just the bunker, but it also has a basement that goes down 6 floors. And this basement is a bunker in itself to protect the artwork. So what is it? It's a bunker for art. Now, if you're going to, let's say you're Russia and you want to drop bunker busters on your bunkers, are you going to drop a bunker buster on top of a museum filled with priceless Western artwork that's irreplaceable? Fuck no. Fuck no. The world would freak out. It'd be like dropping a nuke on the Louvre or L'Hermitage. It's the same damn thing. They know exactly what they're doing. Not only are they using that stuff as a shield, but they're holding it hostage. Because if you read the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, it says right there, should the Goyim ever rise up against us, pitchfork in hand, we will use our secret weapon, the undergrounds, the metropolitans, which before the time comes, we will have dug beneath all of the capitals, the Goyim capitals, and if they should ever rise up against us, we shall blow this shit up in the air, including all their bullshit. Okay? And that's what the Getty is. And that's how I found out about the Getty, because one of my fucking handlers, I sent him an email. And I sent him that passage from the Getty, that very passage right there. Passage number 10, chapter number 8 or 9, something like that. And I sent it to him, and he freaked out. He freaked out. They had to kill him for that. Okay? But when he freaked out, you know what he said? He goes, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not all Jews. We're actually Nazis. See, we're Nazis, 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 Nazis. We're at least half Nazi. So don't say this is a Jewish thing. No, 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 no. We're half Nazi. And that shit blew me away for a whole year, because I thought this was some big ass giant Jewish conspiracy up until that point. When I presented him with the protocols, where it said right there, what the hell they built that damn bunker for, it so that they could take refuge in there while they blow up all our shit, including all that art, all that Western art they're holding hostage. They will blow that shit up in the air, destroy it all. It's to spite us, should we dare enter into their secret chambers. And
it is crazy, dude, because, you know,
they are Nazi, though. They are Nazis. When you realize the Nazis and the Zionists are the same damn thing,
David Goldberg, this guy's no longer with us, put out this video about this thing, and I forget what it is. David Goldberg, the Zeffler Project or whatever it's called, and everyone is really shit on that video, and they say it's not real and all this stuff, but everything is lining up.
They say the protocols isn't real. They say I'm not real. My God. You know, earlier you were talking about how in the early days, if you talked about this pedophilia crap, people thought you were crazy. They thought you had problems. They thought you had issues. I had people calling me. I still have these fuckers calling me a pedophile today. The fucking Masons, that's how they came back at me. They're trying to call me a pedophile. You know what I mean? They project. They call. It's just like Himmler said, or not Himmler, but Goebbels. He said, accuse your enemy of that of which you are guilty.
Yeah.
You know? But
yep. I'm with you, dude.
You know, I've been pushing this shit for so long. I mean, 12 years ago, people didn't talk about tunnels. People didn't talk about bunkers. People didn't talk about pedophiles. You're welcome, people. I've been killing myself to do this. They made me broke. They took away everything I owned. I had six kids. I could have had $500 million at least with my business. They took it all away. I have nothing left but my revenge. And when they said they can't kill me, they actually told me that. I didn't mention that. That same night that they told me they couldn't kill me. Now I've already know that, because I've had plenty of times where fuckers tried to kill me and something would happen at the last second and they would die. You know, that's happened to me so many times. I kind of knew this shit. But they flat out said, no, you're in the can't be killed club. We're not allowed to touch you. You can't be killed. There's all kinds of crazy. I could get in that. But the thing is if you figure that out, I've been waiting for death for so long. I used to wear body armor. I still have body armor. In fact, I just got some new body armor because I'm going to Vegas, and I think these Masons are going to try to put a hit out on me here in October. I don't give a damn. Okay, I'm ready. I really don't care anymore. But if you knew they couldn't kill you, and you got so tired of it, you just didn't care, and you go out and fuck with anybody you want. I fuck with the most powerful people on earth, the richest people on earth, the most powerful, nastiest, horrible organizations, and they won't do shit. I fucked with Mossad. I fucked with with Shin Bet. I fucked with Craft International. I fucked with the NSA. Hell, when I fucked with the NSA, the Ollie North guys, those guys are killers. I mean, come on, NSA, they're killers. They're worse than the CIA. You think the CIA are killers? Those fucking NSA guys, those are the fucking killers. And I was afraid for a good whole year, and I realized they weren't going to do shit. They weren't going to do shit. And so this is what I mean. You know what? I'm seriously expecting them to put I'm going to go to Vegas here for this event, October 15th, 16th, something like that. And I already planned it, and I already know. I'm a psychic. I know this shit. I know what they're going to do. I know I got to stay out of dark alleys and shit. And then I find out this hotel I'm staying at, the whole damn thing is a dark alley. Ugh.
Oh no, dude. Oh no, Steven. Oh no.
I know. But you know what? It's just, I'm tired, man. I really don't care anymore. Seriously. And I realized when they kicked me off of Twitter the last time, I came to the realization it's up to you guys. I've already done the work. I already wrote the book. I've got all this material out there. If you guys don't pick it up and run with it, you know what I mean? I mean, sure, if we can pull this off, and we will, we're going to win this thing. I know we will, but I want it to happen while I'm still alive. You know?
Well, Steven,
are any of those tunnels filled with homeless by any chance by now?
Oh, of course they are. Jeez. Well, I'll give you a clue. If you take like the guy that owns, okay, we all talk about the Uranium One thing. Okay, one of the big players in Uranium One was this Canadian dude that was on the plane with Clinton and the other guy, Carlos Slim, I think it was.
Oh shit.
His big thing was gold mines. Okay, and so gold mines go a couple miles deep. Guys that do gold mines are also guys that do bunkers. One of the things that he was into, along with Carlos Slim, richest man in the world, runs all the cartels, is homeless shelters, endangered youth facilities, and YMCAs, orphanages, this kind of thing. So why do these billionaires that are also building bunkers, why are they interested in these, in children that are troubled children and stuff like that, YMCAs, homeless shelters. I think it's, oh yeah, and the other thing they're into, organ donation. Okay? So you see people pushing that stuff. Look at Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom in California, what did he do? He rounded up all the homeless. Where are they? Where are they? Seriously. Of course they're using homeless. Here's something you guys should understand. All concrete has blood in it. All concrete. And if it's not cow blood from a slaughterhouse, what do you think it is? You think when they build these bunkers, you think they're using cow blood? Homeless are good for something.
Damn, Steven. Damn. Bud, this has been an insightful episode. Man, you went deep. You confirmed a lot of my thoughts. You kind of set the timeline for me. I appreciate that. So for our listeners, one more time, please tell them where they can find you.
I hate to go, guys. All right, first of all, let me just give you my email. We'll start with that. LAW17GUN. That's law17gun at AOL.com. And that goes back to my laser business, my gun lasers. If you send me an email, I'll send you a copy of my book. I'll send you a link to the Telegram group, which if you're in Telegram, it shouldn't be too hard to find. Occupy the Getty / Steven D. Kelley. Not that hard to find. You got to join me on Telegram because until further notice, that's the only thing we got. You're not going to find me anywhere else. My videos, and if you join my Telegram group, you're going to have all the archives and all the links and all the memes. And I'll tell you, the most important thing right now is to take this fire and realize that this is the only thing that matters. Everything else is bullshit. Everything else is a distraction. This is the only thing that's going to do anything, because until we go underground in these bunkers, nothing changes. All this bullshit that we do on the surface means nothing. They laugh at us. As long as they can sit underground in these bunkers, these so-called elders, and they can operate with impunity and no one even knows who they are, there's nothing we can do about it. And this is why they're so terrified. They will start nuclear war, World War III, just to stop this one thing right now, occupy the Getty. And that's why it's so damn important, because there's a very good chance we're going to have nuclear war before they let Trump in office. Very good chance. And the only thing that's going to stop it is this. And I'll tell you, Occupy the Getty is much older than Donald Trump. And when Obama was in office, I was running petitions. Trump shut that down. Okay, so guys, only Occupy the Getty is what's going to save the world, not a politician or not a party, because both parties are run by the same mafia, and they can't kill me. So, and the only way that we're going to win this battle is if I have enough people, at least 2% or 3% of the world, join me. The whole world, not just the United States. So please join. Please send me an email. If you want to talk, send me an email. If you want to do another interview, you can help me get other interviews, because this is all I got. So the more interviews I can do, the better. Okay. And I challenge all these so-called truthers out there, these so-called pundits. I don't care who they are, Alex Joneses, whatever. If you don't say my name, if you don't say Occupy the Getty, you're working for the enemy. Period. You're COINTEL. So you guys are now in the good guys club. Thank you.
Keep an eye on Xavier, though. Keep an eye on him. Hey, Steven, thank you so much. It's been a great episode. Looking forward to our next conversation. Open door whenever you want. Come on. Let's break down the episode. Steven Kelley, what do we think, guys?
They're coming after us. If he came on this podcast, they're coming after us.
I think a future podcast is XG and Steven Kelley. I think we got to make that happen.
Did he not say like 30 things where you're like, wait, hold on a second? And just kind of blew right past like foundational, earth shattering, just drop little comments and like bombs, like Israel drops bombs. He was just dropping these crazy comments that I wanted to know more about. It was the most gripping.
And you don't think he's being watched? Johnny's camera goes out at one point.
That's true.
On us, bang. I mean, it is a deep dive. That is definitely, dude, if you're new to the show, God have mercy on your soul, because that guy went super deep. The Phoenicians, okay? That all lines up with stuff we've had other people talk about, okay? Be able to check out lasers, cavers, and magic. Man, that guy made that before AI. Come on, bro. Come on, guys. That was a great episode. I mean, damn, dude. I think I set the record for least amount of talking I did in an episode.
Yeah,
Steven was just dropping bombs.
For living in LA for so long, you ever seen a tunnel? Would you ever go in a tunnel?
Dude, whenever I see a tunnel, I run the other way screaming for my life.
When have you seen a tunnel?
I've never
ever
seen a tunnel in my life. I do not do tunnels, okay? I don't do tunnels. Okay.
I know the Comedy Store one they say is down there in that basement. You know that once you go down there, and it kind of goes around to the right, like in that closet.
Yeah, I've looked in every room. There's no tunnels.
Right,
I could be wrong.
Right there, they say they walled it up, but that's
maybe. I mean, it was an old mob haunt, so it's definitely possible. Guys, real quick, go to SamTripoli.com. Check. It was a great episode. I mean, what can you say? It was like nothing but bangers the whole time. We hope Steven's okay. If he goes to Vegas, don't go with any lot lizards, Steven. Okay? Don't be letting these fucking crazy chicks walking around in your car. Be safe, brother. Be safe. Go to SamTripoli.com. Louisville, Kentucky is coming up. Real quick, want to thank again everybody who came out to Skankfest. But onward and upwards. Louisville, Kentucky, the 10th through the 12th. Tampa Bay Side Splitters on December 6th, and then Cancun on December 11th. Now, at the time of this, I'm negotiating. I'm going to be out at the Looney Bin in Tulsa. We're deciding the dates. It's looking like November. If everything goes according to it, that will be up ASAP. And again, Guys, come on. Check it out. Go check out my specials coming out October 15th. Quiet. Why is everybody getting quiet? Let's go. You can get the censor one on YouTube, but you can get the hanging and the banging on SamTripoli.com, X, and Rumble. That's how we're doing it, dude. Got to play the game. Got to dance the dirty dance, the forbidden dance with the YouTube gods. But everywhere else, get the words, the best we've ever done. Again, if you go to SamTripoli.com, check out that. And that's it. Johnny, can you just cut in what we did the last show into this part right here?
Yeah, sure.
Just cut all that stuff. Just cut from all the people in there. Bang.
I just need you to
Okay,
give me just a different ending to it, like where you come out of it, just to make it. Yeah, that'll make it a little more complete. But you get
the affiliates or the very, very end?
like you just finished the affiliates, and now like you're gonna say like, hey, check out these highlights or whatever. All right.
Okay. 3. Okay, that's it, man. That's the website, SamTripoli.com, for all things Sam Tripoli, all things tinfoil hat. And hey, guys, enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
So anyways, Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but I am very famous with about 10 people. I have 10 fans out there, and they love me, and I'm very blessed that they love me. And I don't know how to handle fans, right?
Okay.
I'm not good with it.
It's not natural, to be fair.
Well, they come up to me, they're like, oh, I'm a huge fan of yours. And then I feel this immense pressure to realize their version of me.
I got you, yeah.
So I end up just talking their ears off, and then they find reasons to leave. So I'm the only one who runs off their fans by just not.
They wanted a Sam Tripoli experience, and they got too much of it.
Yeah, they got another podcast, a free podcast.
Okay, dude.
So they're like, dude, gotta go. I feel so bad. I give them my number. I'm like, take my number, dude. They're like, what? I'm like, take my number. So here's a new thing that's happening.
That's so funny.
Here's the new thing that's happening. Fans of mine are going on dates with fans of mine and calling me up to impress their chicks. You know who did that? Luis J. Gomez called me up. He's like, hey, Sam. I'm like, what's up, Luis? He's like, there's this big-titted chick here. She's a huge fan of yours, and I'm just trying to impress her. I go, what?
That's so funny.
He goes, hey, here, meet her. Hi, Sam. I'm such a big fan of yours. Thank you. Are you ever going to come to Virginia Beach? I'm like, I'm working on it. I would love it. You're so great. Okay. All right, dude, gotta go. I go, hey, I can't co-sign on this guy's dick game. I can't. I got like 10 fans. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, I can't take responsibility.
Please don't fuck my fans. Okay?
That's so funny.
You do it wrong, I'll lose their friendship forever.
This is not an endorsement.
This is not.
What is it? People put in their Twitter profiles. You know, retweets do not.
Yeah. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I give my number out all the time.
It's a lot easier for me because anybody who recognizes me is a fan of my friend, not of me. So I can just be like, yeah, Sam's a great guy. He's just like he seems.
Johnny, people recognize you?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It happened in Vegas a couple weeks ago. I told you about it. Guy at work there. I named him Paul, I believe was his name.
I did. I had fans at Spearmint Rhino. They would be like, anytime you want to come, bro. I'm like, don't do that, bro. And it's so funny. Last time, so I had a fan at Spearmint Rhino. He's like, I'll set you guys up. Take good care of you. So I bring a bunch of comics. Me, a guy my age, white guy, and a black comic. Just gonna be honest with you, black comics broke.
Okay.
Asking to borrow money to get dances.
Oh, I guess.
Who do all the strippers want?
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you guys have any? Do you have 6 cents on who has the money?
What's the suggestion there? That they
the
just they don't
suggestion
care?
is hit on the guy with the money.
But they don't care about that.
They don't care. They don't care.
That's bad.
They're
business,
like, I'm going to work you and then have your children that I'll raise by myself.
They all think they must be hoping for Nick Cannon, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, do you know? So I've been watching a lot of these, Johnny. Dude, I've been watching a lot of custody cases.
Where?
On YouTube.
Okay.
I want to send you something. I want you to tell me if you think this is a real custody case. because I was really buying into it, and then this one made me go, I don't know. I don't know if what you're telling me is.
I have a feeling about 90% of the shit you watch and think is real.
Johnny, please stop. Okay, that's not cool.
I can tell by the thumbnail it's not real.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad acting face already. I have a great sixth sense for people acting.
By the way, can we watch Tim Dillon's new trailer?
I have it. Yeah.
Can we watch it while you're looking this up?
Yeah, I have it. I pulled it for this week
Speaking
already.
of great TV, I mean, is that guy a brilliant or genius?
Both.
Is he a brilliant genius?
He's a brilliant genius. Here it is. Tim Dillon, Netflix. I already pulled it.
Can we make a thing? Please, Tim Dillon, do not do Ozempic.
I thought you meant
do not do Ozempic.
Do not make us take this down.
They're going to make you take it down. It's a trailer.
Yeah, Netflix is naughty, though. But let's just play it anyway, and then it'll be a exclusive for whatever the hell, Rockfin.
Here to confess to your girlfriend that you used to do porn.
Yeah.
Hello, pigs. I think we can all agree that America's a rotting corpse of an empire and we live in hell.
It's got some Louis energy,
Your
huh?
husband brought you here today because he wants to confess something. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's talk to the food poisoned, drug-addicted sex criminals who live here.
We could play Minecraft, Fortnite.
I've never met a more hateable person. How do you think she's gonna react when you tell her?
What?
Whoa. Wait a second.
No. Are you insane?
Do we pump it up?
We pump
Do we
it
pump
up.
it up?
Are you kidding me? Y'all 3 years I gotta deal with you.
Since I was a child, I don't know any life that's not like this.
Oh,
shut the up.
This is what America's about.
Do you think it's totally unscripted?
I do not.
To say, bring out the BBL. My name is Tim Dillon, and regrettably, this is your country.
So it's kind of a take on Jerry Springer from
It's
modern
a Jerry
times?
Springer show.
Okay, I like that idea.
I think he's brilliant.
It's so smart. Yeah, I mean, what time has demanded it more than now? It's going to be clippable. People are going to have little clips of it. Like, look at this crazy bitch. You know, you get passed around TikTok everywhere. It's
So,
really
Johnny,
smart.
Tim Dillon's killing it. I'm on the edge of questioning whether I ever want to do stand-up ever again. Okay, that's just me. That's who here it is, dude.
So this is 100% fake. But let's go.
Election. The Great White Hope gets elected. I thought our household would be happy about it.
Yeah, it's fake.
I find out I'm married to a libtard, and she starts going off the handle, and like.
In fact, I can even tell this back here is green screen. Past this right here, they're not in a court. This is green screen.
I think they're not. I'm pretty sure they're in the court.
No,
I've been watching this
is
for
green screen.
Just partying and.
Look, see it moving. Watch it move a little bit. Watch it. It's like not stable. Watch this right here. Watch this kind of.
Eventually, she's just partying and doing all this nonsense and gets on H, smack like a loser.
I think it's
goes
real.
off the rails. Leaves me. We got 2 kids, 2 and 5-year-olds, and just leaves me to take care of these kids. So okay, I'm like, okay, fine.
Okay, so now we're getting into the important part of your story.
No, it's clear. This is bad acting. This is fake.
She's
What do you mean?
great.
I'm giving you backstory. Isn't that
It's
what
bad
you
acting.
hear? Don't you need context?
Yeah, but all
Yeah,
the
he's
name
acting.
calling and
Name calling.
jabs.
I'm just telling you. I'm giving you context. Okay. This idiot needs to go to.
Okay, you will refer to her by her name. What is your name?
Martha.
You will refer to
Nice
her
haircut,
as
Martha.
Martha.
She will not be
has
a
heroin
libertard,
problem.
whatever you said.
A liberturd.
A libertard.
Her to rehab, which cost $20,000.
Okay.
That was all of our savings, all of our money. Supposed to be the kids' college fund, but I figure the kids aren't going to go to college if they have a mom on heroin. Pretty bad example. So let's get it
But
situated.
she got the help, right?
Yeah, she got the help.
Okay, so
she
that's
joined
what's
the cult.
important.
She drank the Kool-Aid. She stayed longer than her stint.
Here we
Met
go.
some guy named-
From her YouTube channel, all episodes include actors.
Oh, really?
From her YouTube page about section, a courtroom-based TV show involving cases with issues related to child support / spousal support in Texas. All episodes include actors. Vonda Bailey is not a real judge. She is a licensed attorney in the state of Texas who primarily handles cases involving child support and spousal support.
Oh, you just shattered my world, Johnny.
I can't believe you can't tell that's fake.
I'm just sad and I want to cry. All right, Johnny.
My part, the part that bugs me even more than that is this guy's doing reaction videos to some fake YouTube channel of child support.
Yeah, and he's killing it.
No, he's got 8,000 subscribers. He's doing all right.
I bet you he thinks it's real.
Oh, of course he does. Yeah.
I bet you he thinks it's real. So my friends had an event in town. They were a conspiracy show. I'm not going to get into the details of that. But a bunch of my friends showed up there, and they were like, okay, yeah, it was great, but we want to go. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do stand-up. I got a spot in Long Beach at the Laugh Factory, and I hadn't had a spot there in a long time, and I don't know why, but I hadn't, and it was good to go back, because I love
What do you mean, you've been calling in and weren't getting booked?
I wasn't getting booked, and they were like, we're trying to get people out to Long Beach. I'm like, I'll go. So they booked me. I go out there. A buddy of mine's like, hey, man, we're in town. Can we come watch the show? I'm like, it's in Long Beach, dude. He's like, we don't care. We're coming. So he comes out. He drives out. I put him on the gas leak. Comes in. I go up there. I crush. I have a great set. It's a weird show, but I do really well. I thoroughly enjoyed the gig. A fan came up to me. Oh, my God, we're huge fans of yours. I'm like, thank you. You don't understand how crazy I am. Thank you for that. So my buddy is like, he's like, hey, man, do you got a place for us to crash, basically? I'm like, okay.
Same guy that was at the show?
A different guy.
Okay.
The guy my buddies who were in town for a conspiracy event, they'd asked me earlier if I knew anywhere that they crash, and I'm like, abundance. You can crash at my place. Right?
I didn't know there was a conspiracy event. I would like to go.
Well, so the conspiracy event happens. They're like, it's fine. We're going to go. We want to come see you perform. I'm like, okay. I'm in Long Beach, dude. It's pretty far. We don't care. We're coming. Okay. So they show up, and it's so funny because there's a cowboy event going on in Long Beach, which is, I couldn't think of a place farther from Western anything than Long Beach. It's Mexicans, blacks. I've never seen a cowboy hat out there. Everything's cowboy hats everywhere. Everyone's Tex-Mex enjoying. I'm like, okay, cool. The place was full. It was really great. Jeff Keefe goes up, crushes. I go up. I have a great set. So, I go, okay, you're going to come to my place? He goes, yeah. I go, here's the directions. I'll see you later. We drive out. Dana's out doing some stuff. I drive back. They show up, and they come into my house. And I'm like, okay, like here you can sleep. You guys need water or anything, blah, blah, blah. I go to the kitchen, grab them. I come out. He's got a gun.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.